Hello, welcome back. Let's solve some LeetCode problems with union find. Today's problem is number 547, number of provinces. There are n cities, and some cities are connected, and some cities are not. Essentially, this is a graph problem in which the cities are the vertices of the graph. If the two cities are connected, then there's an edge between the two cities. Let's take a look at example 1. There are 3 cities, city 1, city 2, and city 3. And here is the matrix for this graph. At index 0, that's city 1. At index 1 is city 2, etc. And you can see that city 1 and city 2 here, this value is equal to 1, meaning that cities 1 and 2 are connected. Whereas 1 and 3, the value is 0, so these two are not connected. So we know that a province is a group of cities that are connected either directly or indirectly. In this graph, 1 and 2 is a province. Number 3 is also a province. The question asks how many provinces are there in a given graph. Essentially, it's asked how many disjoint sets are there in this graph. So this is very easy to be solved by union find. Let's take a look at the code. This C# code is provided in the GitHub links below. Since we are using the union find structure, let's start with some of the boilerplate code here. These codes are explained in detail in part 1 of this series. So if you haven't watched that video, please go there and watch that video first. The link for that video is in the description. The total number of cities in the graph is the length of the is-connected matrix. So I initiate the parents array with that size. Next, I assign the parents for each node as itself. So far, these are just boilerplate code for union find as described in the first video. Next, I will use a double for loop to loop through all the edges in the graph. And if I find that there is an edge between two nodes that is connected at I and j equals to 1, then I will perform an union operation of the two nodes I and j. After the double for loops are done, we have finished building up the union find structure for this graph. We will see that the parents array will have these values. Next, I will count the number of provinces in the graph. Essentially, we are counting the number of disjoint sets in this graph. And this information can be found in the parents array. Recall, every disjoint set would have only one parent. And when we perform the find parent operation on that node, we will find that the value is itself. So find parent of I equals to I. So I would go through the parents array using a for loop, and I will look for vertices in which find parents of that node is itself. And if I find this, then I will increment the count by 1. And that is the number of disjoint sets in this graph, and this is the number of provinces in this graph. Okay, let's try to see if this works. And it's good. Now, I have also included here a variant of the weighted union find for this particular question. The code is here. The weighted variant of union find is very similar to the quick variant. Here, I just added the rank array, and also I just changed a little bit of the code for the union operation. All this is explained in the first video, so please go there and take a look if you haven't done so already. Okay, all this code is provided in the GitHub links below, and let's try this as well. And it looks good as well. Hope to see you next time.